It comes down to your objective and why you're doing it. So ask yourself, what is the reason why I want to undergo and go through the process of a side hustle? If you're currently in a job and you're unhappy, that might not be the best reason to take a side hustle. That might be then you needing to ask yourself, why am I unhappy in my job?
Yeah.
Is it a workplace culture? Is it because
I get asked all the time if I can do some work on the side, and I always say no. Here's why.
Welcome to the Marketing Mentors podcast, brought to you by Red Pandas Digital. My name's Linda and I'm here with Tasha, and today we're talking about side hustles and whether you should have one. Now, if you didn't pick up from what Tasha said, we get asked all the time individually in our personal lives, in our professional lives, if we can do work on the side. And I'll get asked by my hairdresser if I can do Google ads. My relative will ask me if I can do a new website for them.
Social media posts.
Social media on the side. And personally for me, my answer anyway, like for the last 2 years, let's say, has been no thank you.
That's because this job sucks the life out of you, Linda, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Nah, not quite. We're joking. We're
joking.
No.
For me personally, it's a no.
Yeah.
And I thought I'd share a little bit on that. And I know, T, I definitely want to hear from you as well. But you know, doing websites on the side, social media on the side, it's just right now not aligned with where I'm going and what I want to do. If it's not something that's strategic and has something to do with marketing and sales coaching, then for me, I don't find my time valuable doing those little side jobs. That additional income, it's not worth it for when I could be spending my time doing other things that are more aligned on the path that I'm on. So for me personally, no. When people ask me, same thing here. I don't have a side hustle. It's not what I'm interested in right now. Cool if you have one, but for me personally, it's not necessary. Yeah,
I hear you. And I feel like there's this, that we're definitely going to talk about it more in a little bit, but there's this glamorized nature around, oh, you don't have a side hustle? Why don't you have a side hustle? Hustle, hustle, hustle. Everyone should have a side hustle.
Work 24/7, drain yourself, be stressed.
No,
why are you stressed?
I'm not interested in it. I'm not. I'll be honest. I've got a 1.5-year-old. I love training. I love my job that I'm doing, and that takes up most of my time outside of work. And when I'm here, I'm giving my 120%. And I don't have the mental capacity to think about other clients or other people. I get asked all the time, and like I said before, family members, friends, and I think they don't realize what they're asking, but it's a little bit like devaluing of what I actually do. Like, I'm a strategic digital marketer. I'm now working in the ops side of the business, and I can do some social media posts for you, but that's not really going to bring you growth to your business or like new actual quality leads. What you probably need is strategy, value prop, buyer persona research, all that type of stuff, which it's too.
If you're not in the field, then you
hard.
Can't get your head in that space. So it's fair enough,
Exactly.
that we often get asked for a lot of those tactical.
Really tactical.
Yeah. That's just not really what we're doing.
I get that no one means it. No one's coming from a bad place when they're asking you these things. They don't get it. We're in this industry. We see it day in and day out. I always guide them somewhere where I know they can get help or assistance, or being in the industry for so long, where they can find a digital marketing consultant or a social media consultant or someone that can help them do what it is that they're trying to achieve. But let's be real, 9 times out of 10, I'm probably going to say, look, I don't really have the time to do it. And if they want to know if Red Pandas can do the work for them, I love that we now have a pricing page on our website that I send them to, so they can realize that we charge like minimum $6,000 a month for the services that we provide. So it kind of shows them the level of expertise that
they're getting.
Exactly.
And just asking us to do some work on the side
it's like,
comes with some costs.
Exactly. Exactly. With that said, let's get into the juice of the podcast. And today we really want to definitely talk about like the side hustle. Should you do it? How do you do it? Is it even worth it? And let's really start with the why. So what are you thinking there, Linda?
Your turn. Pass it over.
That's it.
No, I think, the why is the most important thing.
Yeah.
And that's why we touched on, the glamorizing of side hustles, and that's all fine, but it really it comes down to your objective and why you're doing it. So ask yourself, what is the reason why I want to undergo and go through the process of a side hustle? If you're currently in a job and you're unhappy, that might not be the best reason to take a side hustle. That might be then you needing to ask yourself, why am I unhappy in my job?
Yeah.
Is it a workplace culture? Is it because I'm actually maybe struggling and drowning in my current job? Do I actually need to upskill right now? Is that why they're coming down on me so hard?
Do I not feel as fulfilled as I think I need to be to make myself challenged or happy in my workplace? Yeah, I think,
exactly.
Yeah, being unhappy somewhere is not the main reason you should be like, I'm going to start my own job.
And it's not to say that you can't start the side hustle because you're unhappy. We know Moby, he was unhappy in his workplace, right?
Yeah.
Like they can correlate and work side by side, but it's just generally not the route that you should take without first just kind of identifying what's making you unhappy. Is it because I don't want to work for someone else? Is it because I don't like the environment that I'm in?
Yeah. Or have you found a passion of something that you really want to lean into and hone that craft and then share it with others? Do you have a unique selling product or something that it is that you really want to run in the wild with and make it all happen on your own? So yeah, I agree with you. Really challenge yourself and ask yourself what that why is. And really, look, that's a lifelong lesson. That comes back to everything.
So
why?
everything,
Why are you doing what you're doing?
Why do I want this haircut?
Yeah, exactly. Is this really the right thing for me to be doing? But no, truly asking yourself why you want to have a side hustle and what the goal is, and always reminding yourself of that goal. So, we've talked about vision boards before and keeping yourself aligned to your goals, but have that why in front of you every day so that when you do wake up and you start hustling on your side hustle, you know why you're doing it and what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
I love the why.
There was one thing that you mentioned there, which is, if you want to go out and help people, and that's obviously a big part, right? Making your own income is kind of aligned with that as well. So it could be because you want to have an additional income on the side to be able to save up for something, or because you want to own your own company or your own agency. And I think they are all such valid reasons for looking into a side hustle and moving in that direction.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But Linda, can I just do it willy-nilly right now with little experience?
Well, yeah, there's context, right? I think personally, if you are fresh to the industry, at least in marketing anyway, and you don't have much experience under your belt, you're going to get eaten alive.
Yep.
And you're going to drown.
Yep.
So there's obviously, contextual factors there. If you have a marketing degree and you've worked for another company and you've dealt with a big marketing budget, you've had really tough targets to hit, and you've kind of earned your stripes to a degree, then it kind of makes sense because at the end of the day, you need to be able to give value to other companies. Yeah. And by giving value, you need to have had experience, and you
need to have made a shitload of mistakes. And that's what experience is. I was talking to Tony about it today. It's like the time, I'm no better than anyone else in the team. I've just made a lot of mistakes, and those mistakes have allowed me to draw a lot of conclusions as to things that you shouldn't do or you should do. And with that experience comes the value add that you can give to clients and coach clients on or execute action items on. Without that experience, to Linda's point, you will get eaten up. I've worked with freelancers before that have no experience. Yeah. And you either pay them peanuts because they're not, they just don't have the value or experience to give you, or you end up paying them a lot and you expect a lot, but they can't deliver. So they don't meet the brief, and they're not too happy.
Yeah. I mean, you also don't want to use it as a crutch to say, I don't have enough experience yet. Someday you need to bite the bullet and go out there and do it. Yeah. But I think definitely, if you're making a name for yourself, then I would recommend that at least get the experience first, get those wins and those losses under your belt. So that way, when you do put your name out there, it's not associated to all this negativity because you're learning everything for the first time on your own. Yeah. And you've got your why. Exactly. Right? You've got your why, you've got your experience, this is what you want to do. Personally, I've told you before, I'm not really interested in even starting up something on the side. We've got this, and we'll talk a little bit more about it, this idea of intrapreneur versus entrepreneur. I wouldn't consider myself an entrepreneur. I'm definitely more of the intrapreneur. I'm within the company, and my why right now is to see Red Pandas grow to a point where, I can lean into this ops side of my role or this coaching side of my role more than what I'm doing now. So that aligns to my goals, but I wouldn't want to go off and try and do that on my own. Can I just say, from the beginning, I'm the same as you. I love hearing that. Success doesn't equal being a boss. Like it's just, and I know
I can be my own boss here.
yeah, well, you are bossy.
Oh, shit.
Oh, I love how I can
Thanks,
say
Linda.
this and get away. Maybe because people are recording me right now.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
that's why I've
100%.
got it on camera and we're
Make
in
that a
public.
snippet. You are bossy.
HR on Monday.
Oh, so good.
No, but yeah, I love, honestly, I love hearing you say that. And I feel like it would be so much nicer to hear more people say that. I feel like even with so many podcasts that I listen to these days, there is still so much glamorization around, you know, people off on their own, working 24/7. They're so stressed, you know, they can't maintain personal relationships. They have no life, but they're all doing it for the goal to be their own boss. And to be honest, I was there. Like I did want that. My goals personally have changed.
Yeah.
But I just, it's so glamorized.
And then you get a bit of FOMO of like, oh,
necessary.
I'm not doing that. Should I be doing that? Is that what success looks like?
Yeah, am I a failure because I'm not doing that?
Yeah, and you see all this on social, and then you're like, oh, I got to get out of this vortex of toxicity, right? That's that's another podcast that we've talked about before, actually.
Yeah.
But you know,
no, working for someone else's company, but being, like you say, an entrepreneur is still, in my eyes, a really successful career path.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Obviously. Yeah, I love
we're
that.
on that path.
Hey, we're literally on that topic now, the whole glamorization of it. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I don't always, I definitely don't agree with it. I think being an entrepreneur somewhere, growing your department, growing your role, obviously not every workplace allows for that.
Yeah,
so if you're
that's
listening
true.
and you're not feeling that, you know, you've got that opportunity there, then you've got to go back to your own why and think about, okay, does the company that I'm working at allow for me to achieve my own personal goals as well as company goals? So obviously here, you know, if I turned around to our leadership tomorrow and said, I really want to focus on this thing on the side, as long as there's like this mutual beneficialness between the two of us, I know that I'd get the full team support on doing that.
Maybe as an example, we can share with you guys on what we mean by being able to kind of be an entrepreneur within a company. Team, maybe give an example of like the setup of like what we have with head coach and how that kind of works with having its own team, like what we're kind of working towards.
For sure. So the goal that we're working towards, and hopefully, you know, will happen really soon, is you will have this team of coaches. And within the team of coaches, you have a head coach leading the team. Then you have like a content coach or a HubSpot coach. You have an account manager, and you work as a squad and a unit. And as a squad and a unit, you've got full visibility on the financials of the team. So every client you guys are managing, all the, you know, the profitability of those clients, the time spent on those clients,
the expenses that you have
all
within
of
your team and paying their salaries.
Yeah, that's it. All the overheads, whatever it might be. And then having that full visibility means you know how much money is coming into this little micro business, how much money is going out of this micro business, and then how much is left basically for bonuses, raises, other resources your team might need, training, outings, whatever it is. So if you, for us, like, which is interesting to me, I like that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want it all the time, hence running my own business, but I love the idea that I can run a little micro business within this role that we're working towards.
Yeah.
And you and I potentially are going to be running these side by side micro businesses when we get to that size of the business.
Yeah.
And like our little businesses can compete with each other, and we can have KPIs and these events that we're working towards. Like,
but even be able to be on that journey together is so much more, in my eyes, desirable than being off on my own, trying to figure out everything by myself.
It's lonely. Like, how many times have you heard it's lonely at the top? Do you know what I mean? When you're by yourself doing your own thing in your own world, you're the boss, and like there's no one else is the boss in the company, so you're really by yourself. So I know I really like I like the direction we're taking with it, and the opportunities that are coming here at Red Pandas for people like-minded that are interested in that type of stuff.
So for people that don't have that kind of structure, or they can't work on that structure within the company because it's kind of preset by leadership and whatever, what do people do then when they're trying to start out with their side hustle? Like, what would you recommend, T?
Yeah. Well, we've spoken about having a why. We've spoken about, you know, obviously gaining experience, being patient with yourself, and looking for the work to do so. There's also something really important, like, what are you bringing into the market? What's your product or service offering that's any different or better than everything else that's out there? How are you going to position yourself against everyone else that's already there? So it's that typical competitor SWOT analysis that you should be doing and be aware of, so that when you come into the market with your product and service, you're not just like blindsided by everyone else that's out there doing the same thing.
Yeah.
We can have a whole other podcast, 40-minute discussion around that topic, but I'm just going to leave it there. Solving what gaps are you filling? What problems are you solving? Really think about that. And then the big one really is, when should you take that side hustle full time? Now, obviously, Linda and I don't have that experience because we haven't been through that. But I was the number one hire at Red Pandas. And I was basically, everyone's laughing. I'm so up myself. After Moby, it was me.
Oh my God.
Look,
this is Tasha's world, everyone. We're just living in it.
With that said, I saw Mobes go from working full-time in corporate to 3 days to 2 days to contractor to freelance in a way, so just here and there helping out, to running Red Pandas full-time. And it all kind of simultaneously happened when I was hired. So I was hired full-time literally, I think, the same year that Moby took Red Pandas full-time too, as in he didn't have to do the contracting anymore because he physically couldn't keep up with the amount of work going on. So there was a slow progression. I don't know exactly the timing there. I think that if you're side hustling and you're working a full-time, part-time contractor job, you will know when you're stretched too much. Something's will fall, or you'll just see it about to fall, and then you'll say, okay, I really need to focus on the one thing, which would be your side hustle, and making that your main focus. Again, not from experience, it's just what I've seen firsthand. I think if someone's going through that and you've got a mentor, reach out to them. I'm sure they'll have some advice for you, or just do some Google search. I'm sure there's something out there. Otherwise, that's probably all I have to say on that topic about side hustles. I think they're all, look, this is me, my biased opinion. I don't think they're all that made out to be that they are. But each to their own and what you want to do. And it doesn't just have to be what you're working on. That's the thing. I don't have to have a side hustle on digital marketing. I could be, funnily enough, my husband sells fishing lures on the side. He's a marine mechanic and he sells fishing lures on the side. That's a side hustle, but he doesn't actively work on it. It's just some product he's brought in that he's got a Shopify website happening, and
that's awesome.
Yeah, casually sells these things. And the goal, his why is, I think he wants to retire and just own like a fishing shop. Okay. So it's a long-term goal and strategy, nothing huge there.
That makes sense.
But yeah, he's having some fun with it. So your side hustle doesn't have to be related to what you're working in. It might be something like a passion project that you're keen on working on.
And then that's okay as well. Cool. It's totally different to what we were saying. It's just more about what you're passionate about, what you enjoy doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Anything else, Miss Linda?
No, I think one thing as well that you and I kind of have been speaking about a lot is just about being able to build trust as well.
Oh, open that can of worms.
I mean,
T word. That's not Tasha.
Oh,
trust.
God.
Yeah, that's a good one.
We talk about it a lot, and we could go on and on about that. But yeah, being able to establish trust with whoever you're intending your target market to be is just everything. And a lot of that comes to experience as well.
Oh, doesn't matter what you're selling or what product you're offering. If you can't establish trust in your industry or with your audience, how are you going to sell to them?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear you. Maybe we do our next podcast topic on trust.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. Done.
All right. Well, Linda, as always, it's been a pleasure.
Likewise.
I feel like we should have a glass of wine when we talk in this podcast. I don't know if that'll go fly by our leaders. Anyway.
We'll just put it in a water bottle.
Yeah, just put it in a water bottle. Or a teacup.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This is actually coffee. No, it's water. Thank you so much, Linda. It's always
Likewise,
a pleasure talking with you. This has been Marketing Mentors episode, what are we up to? Episode 15. So check out the visuals if you want of this, the video, at Red Pandas Digital. No, doing that again at redpandas.com.au/MM15. Until next time.
Thanks, guys.